Welcome to the Shred the Spread podcast, episode 29, Preview Thursday. If you're new, thanks for tuning in. And if you're returning, thanks for coming back. I am your host, Jared. And as always, on Preview Thursday, I'm joined by my right-hand man. Going to be here till the day we die. Even though we had a rough week, we're ready to bounce back. Donnell, welcome back. How you feeling? Talk to me.
What is going on, brother? My brother, what's going on, man? Yeah, bad week. Bad week to say the least. We're ready for a bounce back though, man. I mean, shit. Like I said, the first time ever Patrick Mahomes covered a spread and I double-digit spread and shit like that. So like I said, I feel like I made some good reads. Just ended up in the wrong side of it, man. But we're gonna bounce back, man. I expect to make some money this week, baby. How you feeling?
I'm. You know what? I dug into this next slate a little bit earlier than I usually do, just because I felt. I mean, not that I feel like I had a poor pick performance, but 2-4, definitely not what I was expecting. Obviously, the heartbreaker with the Patriots. We're not going to do like a full in-depth recap just because we do have to make this episode pretty quick. But we'll just say that Donnell and I did not make money last week. We'll leave it there. We'll put that week in the past. We're looking to the future. We're here on Preview Thursday to dig into this slate. We're going to go game by game, Thursday all the way to Monday. And we're going to talk about these games. We got some good games coming up. We also have two games with absolutely no meaning, and that is the Titans and the Jaguars. We'll see if Dougie P rests the starters. We have just gotten news today that Derrick Henry and a majority of the Titans starters will be out. So we'll just go ahead and start with this Thursday night nonsense game. We have the Dallas Cowboys traveling to the Tennessee Titans. Titans are 12.5-point home dogs. Very reasonable considering the fact that they are resting pretty much all of their starters, including Derrick Henry, who is 95% of their offense. I'm just going to be very blunt and honest. This is just a game where you seriously cannot put a dollar on. You have no idea what you're going to expect from the Titans, because this game means absolutely nothing. It all comes down to next week versus the Jaguars, with the Cowboys, they're playing very well. We know their defense has been a little bit suspect the last few weeks. So covering a spread this significant does seem a little fishy, but we're getting them just short of 2 touchdowns versus basically the Titans practice squad. Do you have any interest in this game, or are you passing on this as well?
Nah, hard pass on this, man. I mean, like I said, there's really nothing much you can really guarantee with your gut feeling. Say, hey, I'm gonna go with this. With the Titans resting their starters, plus a 12.5 spread for the Cowboys. Like I said, you never know. It's a toss up. Don't even need to touch it.
Yeah, you're getting an ugly spread. And you're getting there's no true handicap on this. So to make an educated bet and guess on this just doesn't seem right. So we will go right ahead and move on to the 1:00 games on Sunday. We have the Carolina Panthers traveling to Tampa Bay. The Panthers, one of my better picks last week, coming off a big win versus the Lions. I think the Panthers broke a shit ton of franchise rushing records, but they're facing the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are 3-point home favorites. Obviously, both of these teams need a win. That NFC South is still not as wide open, but it's still open to several teams. This is very interesting because everything you read, everything you look at says you take the Panthers here. You take the dog, you take the 3 points. Tom Brady hasn't been covering. He's looked really rough. The Panthers coming off a big win, blah, 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 blah. You can go up and down, up and down. But for some reason, this just seems like a Buccaneer spot. We're getting this at a good number, a key number. We know Tom Brady has just been really, really, really immaculate in the fourth quarter. He could have a really rough 3 quarters and then just come out and find a way to win in the fourth quarter. This Panthers team isn't as good as they've been playing as of late. Sam Darnold is, they have that team cruising. But, as much as I want to click that Panthers +3, why does this seem like a Buccaneer spot? Talk to me on this.
Honestly, I don't know if I'm right or not when it comes to you, but I feel like it's kind of like the Brady effect in a way, man. I mean, think about it. This is a Brady situation. You're 7-8. You're legit one game ahead of this team right here as it is for the division to make the playoffs. Your team's been atrocious all year. You're trying to steer the ship, and it's against a team who's been who's been asked to, let's be honest, overperforming the last 3 to 4 weeks. Steve Wilkes got these boys playing. There's a lot of respect for it. I mean, going in and beating the Lions is It's not no easy feat, especially right now. They're definitely hot. So I don't know. I'm a little against you on this. I'm a lean definitely with the Panthers +3. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually win this game straight out. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, just really think about it, man. The first time these teams played, the Buccaneers put up 3 points. It's not like their interior line has gotten any better, until I can see that light finally ignite with Tom Brady and Mike Evans again. I have no faith in it. Tom Brady's been throwing dump offs the whole entire game last game, so we'll see, man. But I would honestly feel like Panthers +3 here.
Okay, yeah. See, that's what I was saying. I just feel like the Panthers are the right side. For some reason, I just cannot get myself to push the
It's
button.
your gut, man. It's the
It's
gut.
it. Yeah, dude. It's just what we don't have to bet every game. That's the beauty of sports betting. You don't have to bet everything. So, I'm just gonna lean Buccaneers. But, dude, you're right, dude. I can't hate you because everything says take the Panthers here. It just
Everything does.
So I'll probably end up staying off this one, but just because my mind and my heart are on two different spots. So I'm just gonna do whatever I can to stay away from that game and not end up on it on Sunday because I know I'll just end up in heartbreak. We've got an interesting game here. We have the Cleveland Browns heading to Washington. We just saw Carson Wentz has been named the starter, which I know we've been a Taylor Heineke podcast. We've been talking about how much of a baller he is, but I think we've kind of seen his ceiling. He limits the offense he limits the potential offense, but he does bring that kind of consistency to the table. The thing with Carson Wentz is he can put up 40 points, but god damn can he give up 40 points to at the same time. Like he will throw 3 incredible touchdowns and then just as 3 poor interceptions. But we have the Commanders laying 1.5 points at home. The total for this game is 40.5 points. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. I lean Washington -1.5. I actually like the number at 2.5, so I'm actually surprised that it went down to 1.5.
Right.
But I just feel like the Washington Commanders are going to be able to run the ball against this Cleveland Browns defense. They had a really rough matchup last week against the 49ers. They really couldn't get the running game going, so it definitely handicapped their offense. I think they have a completely 180 in going in against Cleveland. Cleveland just cannot stop the run. And my God, has Deshaun Watson looked, I don't know if it's rust or he just is lost because he almost looks panicked in the pocket. He doesn't look as, he looks mobile, but he doesn't look so fluent when he takes off. So I'm just going to go ahead and lean the Washington Commanders -1.5. It's not my favorite spot, but it just makes sense. We're the Commanders at home. We're getting a full week of practice with the starters with Carson Wentz. And I think it's a really good matchup for the Washington offensive run game. What do you think?
Yeah, come on, man. I'm gonna show my bias here, man. I'm gonna lean my Commanders -1.5. But truthfully speaking, let's go into depth here. Like you said, Deshaun Watson hasn't complete. Man, I don't think it's physically. I think he hasn't mentally come back yet. It's going to take a little bit. Raw, the game speed. You could tell the game's a little too fast for him, and it's going to get faster with that front seven up there in Washington. Chase Young is fully back. I mean, he looked real good just out of the limited snaps he did play. Montez Sweat. John Allen, Pro Bowler, alternates Sweat and Payne. I mean, come on, man. It's going to be a rough day, not only for Deshaun Watson, but for Nick Chubb, too. I'm going to let you know this right now. We can stop the run. They can definitely stop the run. As far as their defense, yeah, like you said, teams run all over them. That's the weakness. I mean, that's the strong point of our game. Go start with the power run. And be honest with you, to now have Wentz's arm talent, I think that's what the biggest thing I'm talking about here. Right, the decision making has been poor, yes, in the first few games, and in the first games he played, he doesn't. Yeah, like I said, it's been mainly just decision making. But with arm talent, he has just as much as arm talent as anybody else. That pass to Curtis Samuel was an absolute dot. I mean, just leading him upfield,
that was very good.
Leading him upfield and making him run. That was one of the big things we were missing in that Giants game. Heineke had Curtis Samuel wide open down the sideline, and he just threw it just short. Sometimes arm talent comes into real play, and that's what I had to realize, as a fan watching the game. Like, man, we really missed the opportunity there, So I agree with it. It's really a tough decision for Ron Rivera, but just know that I believe Wentz is the right choice, and decision making is going to make or break the Commander season. I think sitting back behind Heineke and seeing the offense kind of flow without him making those those key throws really got, really made him was like, hey, look, hey, this offense can really flow. I don't need to force anything. So we'll see.
I think the best version of that Commanders offense is Carson Wentz under center with
Yes.
a run heavy game, so it limits the amount of passes he makes. As long as he can maintain possession of the ball, not turn the ball over, and make accurate passes, and this team is a run first, pass second team, I think that is the best version of the Commanders. I think you have two really good backs, and if Wentz can just be efficient on a limited amount of throws, I think the Commanders can be a really, really solid team going in the future. So I agree. I think the Commanders definitely should go with Wentz under center. I think he's got the more offensive potential between the two quarterbacks. So let's move on to, we'll go from your favorite team to my favorite team. We have the Saints traveling to Philadelphia. The Philadelphia Eagles are 6-point home favorites. The total for this game is 43.5. This is I'm conflicted.
Yeah.
Very simple for this reasoning. This line doesn't make sense if Gardner Minshew plays, but it also kind of does at the same time, because I feel like there's more to this game than just the Eagles are better. Obviously, the Eagles are the more talented all-around team, but there's just so much more factored into this game. The Eagles basically they need to win. They want to win for two reasons. Number one, home field advantage. Number two, the draft pick. And I know the players don't really think about it as much as the GM, but I'm sure there's been talk in the locker room like, you guys control our future in the draft pick, so you get a better teammate in a sense if you win this game. So, do I think the Eagles win this game? Absolutely. And I've seen a couple smart groups come in on the Saints +6, and I just don't know why. I seriously don't know why. The strength of that Saints offense is with Kamara. The strength of the Eagles defense is really stopping the run lately. Like, teams have not been able to run on the Eagles, and we saw there was a little bit of there was some mishap in the secondary, but it came from the pass game. Darius Slay kind of not necessarily took a shot, but he kind of made the statement that Blankenship wasn't doing his job, or whoever was back there wasn't doing his job. And you kind of saw it in the secondary. The run game against the Eagles have just been non-existent. I'm probably going to lean the Eagles -6. I want to see. I'm debating on if I want to jump on it now, because if Hurts plays, I see this number getting probably closer to 8.5. So I think you are getting some value just because it is short of a field goal. Just short of a touchdown. I also think this is a great teaser piece. You're going to get the Eagles at a pick 'em in a teaser, which in a game where they seriously want to win. What do you think?
Oh no, big lean on the Philadelphia Eagles. Once again, I was definitely conflicted as well. The 6 points is kind of tough to go ahead and pick throughout here. I mean, like I said, without Jalen Hurts at the same time. My biggest thing here, what I'm looking at is, the thing about the Saints is I don't know where's the offense going to come from. You can say all the names you want on that offense with Kamara, Olave, this in the fourth, but Kamara scored for the first time in I don't know how many weeks, and it seems like the only way they can get an offense going is Taysom Hill is a heavy part of the offense, and he seems to be the only person that really scores consistently. Kinda in a way, this offense has no aerial attack. Andy Dalton had 97 passing yards this past game against the Browns, and they won that game 17-10. Why? Because they ran the ball and they used the gadget plays and utilized Taysom Hill to the right fact. Listen, I understand everybody's concerned as far as that, man, but trust that the fact that the Eagles would definitely put up over 20 points in this game. And to me, this defense isn't giving up anything zilch, especially against Andy Dalton. Like I said, Andy Dalton should have been packed the bags on the bench weeks ago. Jameis Winston should have been in, but we're still, get the same product every week. An offense who tries to find their identity by running the ball, but can't find their identity whatsoever because they can't produce any yardage. So, I would lean Eagles -6. I would leave this alone personally, but Eagles -6 is where I would lean.
So let's move on to the Cardinals and the Falcons. We've got the Falcons traveling to Atlanta. Atlanta are 3-point home favorites. Total for this game is 42.5. Yeah, it's just one of the games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's just, there's not really much to talk about in this game. We got two teams that are pretty shitty. I think if you have to pick a side, it's got to be the Falcons, just because their running game has been pretty solid. You really don't know what you're getting from the Cardinals. Obviously, Kyler Murray done for the season. God, they looked rough back there with Trace McSorley, but they kept the game close with the Bucs. Like, they covered, and this, not that that's a shocker, because the Buccaneers don't blow anybody out. They were pretty big underdogs, but 3 points is just. I mean, I think I take my chance. I think I lean heavier that the Falcons win by a field goal than the Cardinals keeping it close. Like, I feel like I lean heavier on the side that the Falcons can win 3-7 more than the Cardinals can win to lose by 3 points. That kind of margin probably will end up staying away. It's sitting at 3, so it is at a good number. But I just see this as such a push. I see a Falcons field goal win, so it's kind of like you're just playing for a push at this point. Do you have any interest in this game?
No interest. Just go ahead and take a nice little arrow, spin the wheel, and whatever it lands on, you take it.
Yeah, I don't.
Literally.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you on that one. I just it's an ugly game. There's not really much to play for here. Obviously, the Falcons, like I would guess they're still on the door knocking for the playoffs. Like there is the potential for them to make it in, but it's just. I mean, the Falcons, in a sense, the Falcons have more to play for than the Cardinals. So I guess that's the handicap there.
I'll put it like this. I'll take the points. Just give me +3. The offenses are both bad. Let the defense play out. Just take the points. That's kind of how I kind of feel about it.
Interesting. Not that I think we'll be betting this game, but okay. Right. We have a game. We're going to go to a game that I actually like. Jaguars traveling to the Houston Texans. Texans 4.5 point dogs. Total for this game is 43.5. I'll tell you what, I think I like the Texans +4.5 here. I don't think they win. I think they're doing not necessarily like a phenomenal tank job, but they're just doing whatever they can to keep games close but not win. And I feel like this is like not necessarily a letdown spot for the Jags because this isn't really a game that means anything to them right now. I think they're just going to be going through the motions. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like we start the starters for the first half, sit them for the second half type of situation. But the Texans and like Lovie Smith isn't like the best coach, but he's getting some fiery players out of that offense and defense. Like this Texans team is just, they're playing close to everybody. They're just not winning. We saw against the Chiefs. We saw against the Cowboys. Like they're just staying in these games. And I feel like because the Jaguars are kind of playing for nothing here, if the Texans can stay close, I think they'll have potential to pull an upset. So I really like the Texans +4.5 here. It just the Jaguars have been on cruise control. I think the public is going to jump all over this Jaguars number as long as they play the starters. I think we're going to get a good number here with the Texans. What do you think?
No, I actually agree with you on that. This is one of those spots where you say, hey, look, I like a team. I like this team to beat this team, but I can see a few other things bounce different ways to the point where it keeps it to a close game. 4.5, giving that +4.5 of his Texans is huge between the flip between you either, by 3 or by 4, depending on how the game is set up, how the play plays out. That half a point can really come in handy. But yeah, that's basically what I would take about it. Play the points there, play the +4.5. Expect a lot of pride coming out this game. Once again, this is a division matchup, guys. And so these division matchups are always dog fights. The Texans have been in dog fights the recent past 3 weeks. They're playing really, really good. I mean, granted, they're playing with pride at this point, but you got to give them props where credit is due. Take the +4.5 and stay safe on it.
Dude, I'm so happy you agreed with me there because it's honestly one of my favorite leans so far.
Yeah.
So we're going to travel to another divisional matchup. We have the Bears traveling to the Lions. The Lions coming off a pretty rough loss against the Panthers, but that's it. I mean, that was kind of expected for me last week because this Lions run defense is just horrendous. So we have the Lions hosting the Bears. The Bears are, Justin Fields has already made a statement that he wants that single season rushing record from a quarterback. I think he's just shy like 200 yards or something. This number just, as much as I want to say I lean Detroit, it's just something about Justin Fields just is so his game and that the way his team operates. It's just such an attractive bet. And it always kind of makes me second guess betting against him. Like I got burned last week against the Bills. The Bills kind of ran the game up at the end. But dude, it's just this number is not, it's like kind of fishy to me. Like 5.5, it kind of tells me like the book doesn't know if the Lions handle business or the Bears keep this close. They kind of middled it here. We're getting over a few key numbers. We're getting it just short of 6. I don't know, dude. I'll probably have to dig into this one a little bit more and, make my decision come Saturday. But what are you getting out of this game?
I guess the biggest thing I'm getting out of it is, like you said, I'm just gonna look at this matchup wise now. Run defense of the Lions is atrocious. Run. The one thing that works on the Chicago Bears offense is the rushing offense. That that defense of the Lions is young. All right, trusting their eyes and trusting their instincts is still considered. It still proves to be a problem. Having Justin Fields being able to move is gonna do absolutely. I mean, everything. Like it's gonna cause a lot of problems for that Lions defense. Are the Lions at home?
Yeah, Lions are at home.
And that's my thing is that's the trap right there. Lions are at home. They're gonna be able to put up points. That's what they seem to do. And the Bears are prone to give up that many points. So, like you said, yeah, I would like to have more time to really think about it. If right now, off the top of my head, if you want to be completely honest with you, I would take the Bears plus 5.5. Just kind of take the points there. Make it safe. I can see it being a close game. Offense is running up points, getting yardage. So that's where I would lean at the moment. But yeah, this is close. This is the number. The number is just fishy. And so you need more time to really think about it and watch that movement too. See if any movement.
Yeah, for 100%. The movement's definitely going to tell. And which honestly, this number is actually moving to 6. This number looks like it's going to move towards 6, just the way the juice is. I do want to say just very quickly, Jamal Williams is questionable. And although we do have DeAndre Swift in the backfield, we do see this Lions offense when it comes to goal line formation. Jamal Williams seems to be the guy. And not that DeAndre Swift is incapable, but Jamal Williams has just been super consistent. So that is definitely a key for the red zone. They're missing their red zone back. That's if he doesn't play. He's still questionable, so we'll get some more information later on the week, and then we'll revisit this. We've got the Miami Dolphins traveling to the Patriots. Patriots 3-point home favorites after opening as 3-point home dogs. Obviously, the 2 is out, so that definitely moved the line. Teddy Bridgewater as a dog historically has been one of the most profitable quarterbacks to bet on the last few years. This number just got to 3 today. So I was eyeing this at 2.5. It gets to 3. Patriots have looked really off on offense, and their special teams has just not looked good. I kind of bought into the Tua news, and I actually got this at under 43.5. The line has dropped to 41.5. I think my favorite bet based off the current lines has got to be Dolphins plus 3. I think they're the better all-around team. Teddy Bridgewater is no pushover as a backup quarterback. We can see, he can win games. We still have a very solid running game. And we still have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, who their job is just to get the ball in space, make a block, and they're gone. So I do think this Dolphins offense will still be capable. And this Patriots offense has just looked rough, man. They only really get points when their defense puts them in good spots. I think I would not be surprised if Dolphins win this game. I think if you did a coin flip here of who would win, I think the Dolphins would win the 50-50 more times than not, just because I think their offense can put up more points than the Patriots can. It's just, what are we going to get out of Teddy Bridgewater? That's what it comes down to. But I'll take my chances. I think I'm going to lean Miami plus 3 here.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I'll take the team with talent, and you telling me you're giving me talent on top of that. They get plus 3. I'll definitely take it at that point. You guys know me. I bet the Patriots. I think not last week, but the week before against the Raiders. I've been really high on the Patriots defense as a late man, but man, like you're right. It's like watching Mac Jones in an offense is like watching Zach Wilson in the Jets offense.
I was really just about to say that. Yeah, that's weird.
It's basically the same thing. I'm watching 2 great defenses battle it out just to get sold by the offense throughout the whole entire game. Let's be honest. I think the Bengals jumped on them 21-0. They rallied back. The defense gave up no points, and I think the offense mustered up 18 points, man. Like it gets to a point where like I said, we talked about this already, but with the whole Zach Wilson thing, it gets to a point where your quarterback or your offense has to produce something or get a little bit of jolt in some life, and they can't do it. I mean, granted, it's Matt Patricia at the end of the day, so what else do we expect? But yeah,
it just I agree with you. You take the playmakers. We have Tyreek Hill who can, at the snap of a finger, end up in the end zone. So I agree with you here. I think the Dolphins plus 3 is a good spot. Broncos, Chiefs. Chiefs laying 12.5 at home. Total for this game is 44.5. I think that total is a little bit high, dude. If Russell Wilson is the quarterback, you can't take the Broncos this week. It's becoming the end of the season. These playoff teams are going to start ramping up, getting these hardcore reps. They want to start handling business. There's no letdown spots at the end of the year. The good teams handle business. The bad teams get blown out. I mean, I see the Chiefs kind of covering this number, but I think I'm more so on the under. I just don't see the Broncos putting up 10 points. Like, I see this game probably like Chiefs 31, Broncos 10. And, I still feel like, I'm still getting 3 points of value just from my numbers on that under. I don't know, man. What are you getting out of this game?
I'm getting the same thing. Yeah, I would lean Kansas City Chiefs. Listen, the thing about the Denver Broncos is you can really see the team just crack. I mean, they've been cracking all throughout. They Vic Van, what was it? What was the Nathaniel Hackett? That's what his name was. Nathaniel Hackett finally got fired. It was kind of the last straw throughout the whole year. Don't let this last meeting between the Broncos and Chiefs fool you. All right, that was really fool's gold. Russell Wilson came back, had 3 touchdown drives. We haven't seen 3 touchdown drives in 4 or 5 games. 5 games before that. And let's be honest. What I'm really liking right now is how good that Chiefs defense look and how they kind of flip the switch. It's been the weakness all year. They've been getting picked on all year, and for them to come up solid against the Seahawks offense, who isn't no joke at the end of the day. Geno Smith been playing ball. Kenneth Walker's been balling. For them to go out there and only give up 14 points and actually covered that double-digit spread last week, really puts a lot of confidence in his Chiefs team right now. They seem like they're starting to get together at the right time.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. The Seahawks only put up 14 points. You're telling me the Broncos are going to put up 14 points? I just don't see it. I see a lot of McManus long field goals, but they're in Arrowhead. They're not even in Denver, so they're not even getting elevation on their side. I agree with you. I like the Chiefs. I like the under. Let's move on to the Colts. Colts plus 5.5 traveling to the Giants. Dude, the total for this game is 38.5. It's a very low total for this week.
But an ugly spread on top of that with that total.
Dude, it's such an ugly spread. Like, how do you take this Colts team? But on the same side, how do you lay 5.5 with this Giants team lately, dude? It's just 2 rough teams. Like, oh man, I don't know. I think this will probably be a pass for me. I think if this number gets down to 5, I think I like the Giants. If you can get this at 5, I think I like the Giants. It's just this Colts team seems to have quit. Foles looked really bad. I think he threw 3 interceptions in the first quarter. These players don't give a shit about Jeff Saturday. Jeff Saturday has made a fool of himself. This Colts team just looks really bad, dude. And I think the Giants have more potential to blow this game out of the water than the Colts kind of keeping this competitive. The Colts just look really bad, dude. I don't think I could take the points with the Colts. What are you thinking?
No, I'm hard passing this game. Like I said, bro, I'm looking at 5.5, and the over under is 38.5. That lets me know everything right there. I got 2 teams who just can't finish drives. The Giants are a timely team. They're not a dominating team. They're a timely team. As in, when they need a touchdown or we need that they seem to put something together when they need to. This Colts, like they have no identity. Their identity is gone. Jonathan Taylor is gone. And then they're having quarterback roulette, and all 3 quarterbacks just came to just have turned the ball over more than any other quarterback in the league. It's tough, bro. Like, you would have to lean Giants minus 5.5, but I don't bank on the Giants finishing drives to the point where it's like, oh yeah, they're gonna handle business. So yeah, big stay away game.
Yeah, I agree with you. So now we got the Jets traveling to Seattle. Seahawks are 1.5 home dogs. Total for this game is 42.5. I'm just gonna say this. I liked the Jets when they were laying 2.5. This line has moved down to 1.5, and I'm not quite sure why. Mike White is back. Obviously, that's huge. The line is a little bit deflated, in my opinion, because of Wilson's past performance. So a lot of people have kind of jumped off the Jets bandwagon. So I think we're getting a slight discount on the number. It's obviously a must-win game for the Jets. And I think the biggest reason that I like the Jets is the Seahawks just have no answer for the run right now. And we know that's what the Jets want to establish. They want to establish a run, kick in some play action. And now we have Mike White, who's going to sling the damn rock. Seahawks have just looked rough, dude. And I think we're getting this number, like, we're getting a really good discount. Obviously, the Jets on the road playing in Seattle. Seattle is not, it's no pushover. This stadium's one of the roughest stadiums to play in. But I think we're getting a good number here. We're getting it just short of 2. We're getting a key number of 2. I think this is a really good spot for the Jets. What do you think?
Oh yeah, man. When I saw this matchup, early in the season, I was thinking, damn, this is gonna be a tough matchup. Now I'm looking at it like, damn, this is the battle between one of the worst teams in the past fucking 5 weeks. The Seahawks just can't seem to stop the run and haven't seemed to actually establish an offense consistently in the past few weeks. And we all know the Jets just can't produce offense with the goddamn Mike White is back. That is definitely huge, you know. So I would lean -1.5 with Mike White there. I don't know. It's this is only tough because I like Seattle at home. Seattle at home favorite. Seattle at home dogs is always enticing to me, including the 12th man. But I just don't see it. The fact that that offense struggled against the Kansas City Chiefs is definitely worrisome, and that definitely worries me so much. I don't know if it's the Chiefs finally figured it out and they're about to turn it around for the playoffs and turn it up, or it's the fact that it's crunch time, they need it, and this offense folded against one of the worst defenses in the league. So this is definitely something to keep an eyes out on. Both teams need a win. To be honest with you, get ready for an ugly game. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say here. Get ready for an ugly game. This is gonna be one of those a tough, gritty, ugly games. And hopefully I don't see no players become shirtless out there just to lose. So
I will say this. There is some sharp money coming in on the Seahawks, obviously, because this is a pro spot. You bet the Seahawks a home dog.
A home body, right.
It just makes sense. But this just doesn't seem like the right spot. I don't think you're getting a great number. I don't think you're not getting a good price. So because this sharp money is coming on the Seahawks, I would not be surprised if this Jets line gets to 1. If this Jets line gets to 1, we're just asking them to win at this point. So, you're getting good push potential if, they sneak out a win, end of the game with a field goal. So if you do like the spot, I think we can hold on closer to Sunday, let this sharp money roll in, see how this line adjusts. This line could hold firm at 1.5. And if the sharp money rolls in on Seattle and this line stays firm at 1.5, then that just speaks volume to what the sportsbook thinks about the Jets. So I think we're on the same side here. I really like the Jets. I think this is going to be a really good game. The Seahawks they have no answer for the run right now, and I think that's going to be very critical in this matchup. So let's move on to a game where, how the hell do we even go about capping this? We have the Niners traveling to Las Vegas. The Vegas are 10-point home dogs. Before Derek Carr was benched, I actually liked the Raiders +6. This just, I don't know, dude. The line has moved to 10 because Jarrett Stidham is now starting. We're laying 10 points for Brock Purdy. I'm just going to say this. I'm not touching this damn game. I'm not looking into it. I'm not reading the lines. Brock Purdy is like 4-0 against the spread, 4-0 straight up. This Raiders team, half the team is talking about they can't wait to be there next year. This just, once I saw that the Raiders are benching Carr, and I don't know, dude, this is just, this is very similar to the Titans. Where the hell do you go about making an educated guess on this game? You just can't. Do you have any interest in this?
Interest? No. Well, interest in putting money on? No. Interest in watching this? Possibly. I just want to continue to just watch the debacle of the Raiders. You know how I kind of feel about the Raiders.
I know you're
I'm just waiting for the day Josh McDaniels gets fired, dude. The days are kind of ticking. The benching of Derek Carr is a bad look. I don't give a fuck what nobody says about this. The fact from the beginning for the beginning of this year, and you're going to tell me that by week 17 I will be benching Derek Carr. That lets you know that this whole plan is at rock bottom. This is Jarrett Stidham.
Rock bottom.
Guys, yeah, right. That's rock bottom, right?
Everybody Brock bottom.
Yeah. Y'all thought, fucking Mr. Irrelevant and Brock was the last pick. You thought they hit Brock bottom. And it ends up these motherfuckers are out here just scorching teams. Let's be honest, guys. They beat the hell out of a good Commanders team. Granted, they had no offense, whatsoever, but they did go out there and they handled their business. Brock Purdy looked real good. The defense looked real good. Not touching this with a 10-foot pole, but if I were to lean, of course, 49ers, if anything.
Yeah, dude, this will be a stay away from game. Yeah. I do want to just, for everybody who's a Philly fan out there, everybody pour one out. Our boy Gene Segura just signed a 2-year deal with the Marlins. Shout out Gene Segura, man. 2 years, $17 million. He has moved on from the Philadelphia Phillies. That's rough. But anyway.
It was about time.
Yeah, it was about time. Just the way that, shout out Gene Segura, man. He was a dog while he was here. Can't hate on him, man. Nothing but respect to him. Let's get back to some football. The Minnesota Vikings heading to the Packers. Packers laying 3 at home. Total for this game is 48.5. I'm on my nemesis tour, and this starts with this game right here. I have switched sides. I have left the light and went into the dark, and I am all over this Vikings +3. Okay. Oh my God. What are we talking about? I understand that the Packers just had this miraculous comeback against the Dolphins after Tua just slammed his head against the or the turf, whatever the hell they got back up And word on the street is,
He had a concussion.
dude, word on the street is, I can't even say this with a straight face. Tua was calling plays and was throwing to the wrong spot because he forgot what play he was calling. And that's why he threw those 2 interceptions and those 3 pass breakups. He was anticipating Waddle to run a route, threw the ball to the opposite side of the way he was running, and then looked around. And, poor Tua. This guy, I think he needs, honestly, I sorry to all the Dolphins fan, but this guy just he might need to retire. Going back to the seriousness, this number has been teeter-tottering between 3 and 3.5. I have bet it 3 times at 3.5 so far. It reached 3.5 this morning. I threw half a unit on there. It reached 3.5 a little bit in the middle of the day. I threw half a unit on there. And once this gets back to 3.5, because I made my mind up, this is one of my favorite bets this week, I will be deploying another unit. This just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. I know the Packers are coming off a win, but like I just said, they just played against the Dolphins, who, quite frankly, were playing 2 different offenses at the same time. The quarterback was not in rhythm, and that led the Packers come all the way back and win. Give me a break. I know this line is only like this because the public is so against the Vikings, but I have put my pride aside. Give me the Vikings +3. I'm leaning +3, but I'm going to be betting the piss out of them at 3.5 because this line keeps going back and forth.
Oh man, great presentation. Because never in a million years would I ever thought you would have took a Vikings bet to save your life. I mean, at all. I mean, you talk about they're not good, the spread is whatever.
Oh, they're not good. They're suck. But I'm just gonna go with the. Why not go with the luck, man? Why not?
I mean, yeah. Sometimes you gotta take the luck. Sometimes you gotta roll with the hot hand, bro. I'm with you. I don't think the Packers solved anything. I just feel like, after a week or two of them doing really, really well, we get like, oh, hey, hold on. They still got a chance. No, they don't.
And Watson just got banged up. His number 1 receiver, the only part of the offense that was looking good, is banged up.
And like I said, guys, this is what kills me about teams like the Bucs and the Packers and other teams. Do you guys want to run the ball or not? I mean, you gotta pick one. These games where, like, there should be no reason why. Like, I'm not a statistician. All right. I don't look at the stats. But anytime I look at a quick glance of the stacks of a box score and I think, oh, the Packers won, well, shit, they must have ran the ball 25 to 30 times. And I'm right every single time, guys. AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones deserve to get the ball majority of the time. Let them rock and roll. Let them get hot. That's how it goes. That's all you have to do. And it just seems like because they have this Hall of Fame quarterback, they want to pull away and throw these shots here, fling this here, smart play, hot route this. Guys, keep it simple, keep it basic. And that's one of the things the Packers haven't done consistently all year. I don't believe in that coaching staff. I just feel like there's a lot of magic right now with this Minnesota Vikings team. It's time that Kirk Cousins gets his flowers. He looks ugly at times, and man, he's looked great when times he needed to look great. This young coach, Kevin O'Connell came in and did a great job as far as the culture-wise. I don't get it. They're 1-point games. Somehow they fucking win it. So you tell me you give me a 1-point spread, I'm taking the Vikings 1-point spread any day, +3.
Let's go. I love it.
Let's go. Let's ride.
Yo, just side note, did you see the gift that they gave Richard Sherman?
Yeah, the doll that
it was a doll, and I think it was a doll of Richard Sherman. It said squeeze me, Broncos. Oh, that shit was hilarious because we know he hates Russell Wilson. But anyway, the Los Angeles Rams are traveling to the Los Angeles Chargers. Well, not necessarily traveling because they're both sharing the same field and they both have no fan bases, but that's besides the point. The Chargers are laying 6.5 points. Total for this game is 40.5. System play. I don't take the Chargers as a big favorite. Obviously, this number was at 8 and they dropped all the way to 6.5 because the Rams just threw up 51 points on the Broncos. Dude, this team is ready to run through a wall for Baker Mayfield right now. I'm just going to stick to my system. I'm going to stick to the system. I don't take Chargers as big favorites. There's no real home field advantage. Baker's basically playing for some street cred at this point. Team seems to rally around him. Give me the Rams +6.5.
Yo, you are my dog. You see what's funny? I read it the same exact way, man. I think the Chargers are gonna end up winning this one. But guys, this Rams team for some reason got like a spark. Yo, it's like I want y'all to be honest. Like, this is the first time I've seen it. Even with Cooper Kupp still playing, with Matthew Stafford still playing. It's the first time I've seen it. There's a spark or something. It's like the defense. How many interceptions they had against Russell Wilson? 3, 4. I mean, the whole D-line. I mean, I think the whole damn near D-line got an interception. Bobby Wagner got one. I mean, shit. I mean, like, guys, like, I need you guys to understand, too, is when it comes to, as a player and it comes to athletes, emotion matters, bro. Adrenaline matters. right now, this Rams team is not high final for success right now. They're flowing up straight with emotion, with straight energy, and it's ready to wreck seasons, man. They're ready to go ahead and wreck this season. Like I said, it's in Los Angeles again because I mean it is Los Angeles, Los Angeles, so there is no home favorite or whatever he's gonna like that. I mean, you get legit. You know, let's put it like this: if there was a game right now, say a regular Chargers game, the capacity was 50%. And the Rams capacity was 50%. Well, I'll put it like this. You probably have your first sold out crowd and it's legit 50-50. So no matter what happens, it's not gonna be no home field advantage. And but nah, dude, I just love that plus things I have. The Rams just seem to be rolling. I got a funny feeling. It's got a funny feeling.
Yeah, and I think the problem is, even if they did go 50-50, I don't think they could find enough fucking fans to fill that stadium.
Exactly. So you still think it'll be under? Yeah,
it'll be 50-50, but like 80. It'll fill up a quarter. Yeah, like 60% capacity because they just that's just funny. Yeah, so I think we're on the right side here. 6.5. Steelers and Ravens. Steelers are traveling to Baltimore. This is a big game. Obviously got flexed to Sunday night. Steelers are 2.5 point road dogs. Total for this game is 35.5. Very low total. You know, Lamar potentially playing. I haven't seen too much about it. Even if he is playing, it's a rusty spot. He hasn't played in a while. Going against a really solid Steelers defense. This number opened up at 3, or when I was making my notes and writing through over these games, I had it at 3. This number has moved to 2.5, so it's kind of in my favor, saying that because the Steelers line has gotten a little bit short, that a little bit more money has come on the Steelers. I really don't like this number lower than 3 because this has moved to 2.5, and I do have respect for this Ravens team. I'll probably go ahead and just mark this as a stay away. If this game does get back to 3, which I don't necessarily see that happening, I would lean the Steelers +3, but this will be more so of just a game for entertainment because this will be a good divisional matchup and this does have playoff implications. Do you have any interest in this?
Do I have interest in it? No, I don't, as far as putting money around, but I'm letting you know now, like as far as watching this game, I'm really loving it. As far as leaning, guys, but hear me out. I'm going with Mike Tomlin. This man has not had one losing season yet. He has pulled some great wins over these past few weeks. There's just something about it, dude. And like I said, the Ravens have been struggling offensively throughout the whole year. Even with Lamar Jackson out there at times, they've struggled. Him coming back is going to be a little bit of a bumpy road, especially with this defense playing the way that they are. TJ Watt is ready to get after it, and Minkah Fitzpatrick is back there roaming the back end, man. This defense looks good as ever with a healthy Minkah Fitzpatrick and a healthy TJ Watt. I mean, I would definitely take the Steelers +2.5 here, man. There's something about Mike Tomlin and this team right now, bro. Honestly, if I was to play him like an underdog, or round robin, personally, I would take them winning. Honestly, I would have them winning this game, have this game straight out.
Yeah. Like I said, if this number stays at 3, I like the Steelers. Obviously Mike Tomlin as a dog is always a good bet. So moving on to the last game of the week, Monday night. Really good matchup. We have the Buffalo Bills traveling to Cincinnati to face the Bengals. The Bengals are 1.5 home dogs. Now, generally speaking, really talented team. I would take the home dog here. But you guys know I love the Bills. I love Josh Allen. I think that team is on another level. Although Josh Allen has not been playing his best football, I think they're like top 5 in yards per carry for the running game. And it's overshadowed because Josh Allen seems to be getting a lot of these carries and these design quarterback runs, but because that's what their specialty is. That's what their strength is. Josh Allen just uses his size, his speed, his ability to make plays. And I love that. I love that they're not shying away from it. Josh Allen does whatever he can to find wins. I mean, in reality, this game will probably come down to whoever has the ball for last wins. So, this will be a really tough spot to take a side. I'll probably lean Bills -1.5 just to have action on this game. Although Joe Burrow has been playing at a phenomenal level, he did lose one of his biggest offensive pieces in his line, and that was one of their best offensive linemen. So that definitely hurts. Lyle Collins I think he's out for the season, is what I saw. Dude, that's a big loss. So I'll probably be on the Bills here. This is going to be a really good game. What are you thinking?
I knew this is going to be the one game we go opposite ends at. I'm going to stick with Houday Nation. I'm going to stick with Joe Burrow. And I'm going to stick with the Bengals +1.5 here. Like you said, they're home dogs. I love that about the Bengals. The Bengals are 5-1 so far this season at home. They play really, really well. They put up average about 29 points, give up about 18.3. Granted, this is a tough task against the Bills offense, but I bank on this Bengals defense just being gamers. That's what they're about. They play in moments. You know what I'm saying? They might not blow out a team, but they're going to play in moments. That defense is going to get pressure on Josh Allen. I believe that one of the biggest thing they're going to do is they're going to stop the run. I feel like once the Bills start to run the ball, their offense just multiplies. Like they can do anything on the football field. I feel like they can eliminate that run, and I really believe that Joe Burrow and this offense. I believe Joe Burrow and this offense can put up some points against this Bills defense. Granted, they're back, they're fully healthy, but hey, man, I guess we'll see at this point. Like I said, I just got a feeling about the Bengals at home. They perform really well at home.
Yeah, and I just want to say this just to be very transparent. This isn't like I love the Bills -1.5 here. To be completely honest with you, I like the Bills -1.5, but I think the Bengals are one of my favorite teaser pieces because, dude, you get the Bengals at 7.5 right now. So I've actually already bet 2 teasers this week. I have the Vikings and the Bengals teaser, and then I have the Eagles and the Bengals teaser. So I have the Bengals on both of my teasers, and it's just a 1 unit basically to win 1 unit 6-point teaser. So I like the Vikings Bengal tease. I like the Eagles Bengals tease. I think the Bengals are a really good spot. I just don't see either of these teams blowing the one or another out. So I think this game stays pretty close. And like I said, I think it's going to come down to whoever has the ball last. Both of these teams are very capable of leading their team down to a game-winning field goal. And obviously McPherson had a rough week last week, but that's not of his character. He usually is pretty solid. He's one of the better kickers in this league. And then you obviously have Tyler Bass on the other side. So we got 2 very talented teams. It's going to be a good game, dude.
Love it. Yeah, it's going to be a great atmosphere.
Yeah, I think this is just a coin flip, dude. Whoever has the ball last wins. But that's everything, man. We went through all these games. We got a lot of good games. We have a couple games that don't mean shit. We have a couple games that mean a lot, and we have a couple games that are just going to be good games just because we have some ballers. Obviously, Donnell and I will re-dig into this on Saturday. We'll get some of our official locks. But as for right now, we've got the leans. There's obviously going to be some line movement. So if you agree with anything you heard and you like what you heard and you agree, go ahead and lock some stuff in before these line moves. I kind of gave my synopsis of what I think these line movement will be based off some of these numbers. You guys just kind of got to pay attention to the juice. But other than that, I think things would be about ready for us to get out of here. You can follow us on Twitter at @ShredTheSpread_. So if you have any scheduling differences or we can't make the podcast that week, whatever it may be, you can find all that on our Twitter. If you're into TikTok, you can also follow us on TikTok at @ShredTheSpread. But yeah, so I think it's going to do it for us for the Shred the Spread podcast. He is my co-host, Donnell. I am Jared. And for our producer, Tyler, you could follow him on Twitter at RealMetroGnomes, GN, not NO. But until Saturday, we'll see you.
All right, man. You have a good week.